Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I wanted to give someone who was an absolutely reliable batsman for Sri Lanka and someone who had an absolutely sound batting technique and someone who could anchor the innings and play long innings. He has played a lot of long innings in his career, and he has scored six double centuries in Test cricket, which is one of the highest in Test history, and someone who could play all the shots, very good against fast bowling, and someone who was very good on the offside and leg side and was really good on the front foot and the back foot. But he's also someone who had a very contrasting test career, because he started his test career with five ducks in his first six innings, which took a hammering on his batting average. And he also has a dubious record of 22 test ducks in his career, including four pairs, which means a duck in both innings of the test match. A pair, you would know, means a duck in both innings of a test matches. So four test matches he was duck in both innings, eight ducks in the two test matches, four test matches, sorry, and 22 test ducks, which is also a record for a top order batsman. But he is someone who has scored six double centuries, like I said, and who had a really good batting technique, and he was respected and admired all around the world for his batting technique. And he was such a solid batsman who was very difficult to get out. He's almost in that mode of Mahela Jayawardena. I'm talking about Sri Lanka's opening batsman, Marvan Atapattu. In all, he played 90 test matches for Sri Lanka, and he scored 5,502 runs, and he scored 16 hundreds, and his highest was 249. And in one day matches, he played 268 matches, and he scored 8,529 runs with 11 hundreds. And he has scored centuries against all test playing nations. And he has scored hundreds against Australia, New Zealand, West Indies, and England at their shows. And he's also scored two one day hundreds against South Africa in South Africa. And one was a very famous innings in that 2003 World Cup, where he scored two centuries and he scored 124 against South Africa at Kingsmead, Durban, that put South Africa out of the World Cup in that 2003 World Cup, when South Africa misread the Duckworth-Lewis system, and that match was tied, and South Africa only needed one more run to win, and that would have put them in the Super Sixes. So that was a very famous innings that he played. And he was also the head coach of Singapore, and he was a batting coach of Canada, and he was also once the head coach of Sri Lanka before he was the batting coach of Sri Lanka as well, but he resigned later. And he is someone who has played a lot of big innings for Sri Lanka and was a very difficult batsman to get out, who had a really solid technique. He was very calm and composed at the crease. And there was also something about him. He was a very skillful fielder who had really accurate throws. Not the most stylish fielder like a Jonty Rhodes or Ricky Ponting, but he had a very good accurate throw. And once ESPN Cricinfo had a report that said that after the 99 Cricket World Cup, he effected the second most number of run-outs in one-day cricket, which is an absolutely stunning record to Marvan Atapattu, for Marvan Atapattu, considering that there were a lot of more acrobatic fielders than him. He wasn't someone who was really diving around or stylish fielder like Jonty Rhodes or Ponting or Yuvraj Singh, like I mentioned, but he was very accurate with his throws, and he was a very skillful fielder. And like I said, he has scored hundreds against all test playing nations. Very few players in the cricket history has scored centuries against all test playing nations. And the fact that he scored hundreds in Australia, New Zealand, England, and West Indies shows that he was very good against fast bowling and could adapt to any condition. And those two one day hundreds against South Africa in South Africa, including that 2003 World Cup 100. So that is my video for Marvan Atapattu, one of the most solid players that I can think of, and someone who really inspired me growing up. It was always really beautiful to watch him bat, the way he went about his innings and how solid, calm, composed he was at the crease. And like I said, someone who also had one of the most, if not the most contrasting test careers, because he had 22 test ducks, 4 pairs, and also started his test career in a really bad shape with 5 ducks in his first 6 innings. And he did make his test debut way back in 1990 against India, but it took him many years to establish at the test level. and later on in the late 90s, he was one of the most prolific batsmen for Sri Lanka. So I just want to say thank you so much to Marvan Atapattu for all the memories, for all the inspiration, and for being a very solid, compact, sound batsman who batted for long periods and showed the value of your wicket and sound technique. Thank you for everything, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Take care. God bless you.